For decades, software has literally just been a tool, right? A hammer waiting for a hand. Even the most advanced AI we've seen lately, the chatbots writing code and drafting essays, they just sit there, idle, until you prompt them. They're brilliant, absolutely, but they are entirely dependent on your direction.
But that era is ending. Most AI still waits for you. A new kind no longer does. Today we're crossing the line from basic automation to true autonomy.
Historically, you operated the software, you made the final call. But now, we're handing over complex goals. Think about an assistant for a second. It produces text, it gives you answers, but it stops right there. An agent is a totally different beast. Agents use tools to perform acts in the real world, and a lot of those acts are irreversible. It is the visceral difference between a system that just drafts an email and a system that actually hits send.
So think of an AI agent exactly like a brand new employee on their very first day. To actually pursue a real outcome, they need 4 things. First, training to know how to think about the work. Second, software to actually get things done. Third, a notebook to record their decisions. And fourth, a strategy to break a messy, complicated project into manageable steps.
And that human analogy actually maps perfectly to the strict architectural pillars of an AI agent. The training, that's the model. The reasoning engine, the software. Translates to tools. The notebook is memory, and the strategy is planning. An agent is just a highly coordinated architecture of these 4 distinct components working together. Now, people often confuse the large language model with the agent itself. But the model is literally just the engine. It has no fuel tank. Every single time it wakes up, it starts from scratch. Without memory and without tools, the model is completely trapped. It relies 100% on those other 3 pillars to actually do work.
And that brings us to tools. These are literally the hands of the agent. Now, information tools are pretty safe. They're read-only, they search the web, they expand knowledge, but they don't alter reality. Action tools, on the other hand, are totally different. They grant the agent the dangerous power to change the outside world. We're talking about charging credit cards, deploying live code. Action tools turn a harmless, helpful assistant into an empowered, autonomous worker.
So to coordinate all this power safely, developers use a specific design pattern called ReAct, which stands for reasoning and acting. See, instead of generating one giant fragile plan up front, the agent interleaves its steps. It thinks, it takes a small action, it observes the real-world result of that action, and then it updates its reasoning. It's constantly alternating between thinking about its next move and actually doing it.
Let's face it, the real world doesn't cooperate with linear plans. Websites crash, APIs fail. So to survive, the agent operates in a continuous loop. First, perceive. What is happening right now? Next, plan. What should I do about it? Then, act. Execute the tool. And finally, reflect. Did that actually work? It survives a messy world by asking, okay, what now? Over and over again.
Let's see this loop in action. Say you ask an agent to calculate sales tax on a $4,200 purchase in Baldwin County, Georgia. Iteration 1. It perceives the goal, plans a web search, acts, and then reflects on a Department of Revenue link it found, so it loops. Iteration 2. It fetches that page, acts by extracting the 8% rate, and reflects again. Iteration 3. It plans the math, acts using a calculator tool, and reflects on the final answer, $336. Flawless. But here is where the real magic of the loop shines. What if that primary website goes down and throws a 503 error? A traditional automated workflow? It just crashes. But an agent, it perceives the error, reflects, and adapts. It reasons, okay, the primary source is down, but I saw a local government link earlier. It pivots. It finds the rate. It doesn't crash. It reasons. This stage right here, this is the absolute hero of our story. The reflect stage is the exact dividing line between a dumb, automated workflow and a smart, autonomous agent. Did the action work? Did it move me closer to the overall goal? Should I continue, change course, or stop? Without reflection, an agent is just firing off tools blindly. Reflection is exactly how an agent knows its job is done. Handing over this much autonomy obviously comes with some unsettling risks without human intervention. An agent's reflection can fail in 3 really unique ways. First, the stalled loop. The agent literally freezes up, unable to decide if a vague goal has been met. Then, the premature exit. The agent just gives up too soon, confidently delivering a totally incomplete result. And finally, the most dangerous one, the runaway loop. It iterates endlessly. It tries to satisfy an impossible goal, burning through compute time and real money without ever stopping.
These components, the models, the tools, the memory, the planning, they create a system that doesn't just calculate anymore. It acts, it decides. As we transform software from simple tools into empowered delegates, we are facing irreversible consequences. The question you must now ask of every single intelligent tool you use is this: how much of my judgment have I just handed over?